Hi guys, so today I am doing a video on my current favorites, things that I am loving right now. Pretty much everything is from the drugstore with the exception of like 3 things maybe. But all of this stuff I have used multiple times. I have tried it out, I have worn it, I have tested it, and I am loving it so far. So if you guys would like to see this video on things that I have been loving, both from the drugstore and kind of high-end. I wouldn't really say anything that I have is like extremely high priced right now, but like some stuff you can only get at like Ulta or online or something like that. But for the most part, everything is affordable. So if you guys would like to see this video on things that I have currently been loving, then please keep watching. Okay, so first up, I'm going to start with foundations. I only have 2 foundations right now because there's so many foundations that I've been trying here lately that I need to sit down and actually go through all of the foundations that I've tried just to see which ones, that are hits or misses for me. But as of right now, the foundation that I have been using like literally every single day with the exception of like a few days because I did try like a few other foundations as well. This foundation I've been using like all the time, and that is the LA Girl Pro Matte foundation. This is their newest foundation. They have the LA Girl Pro Coverage, which I also love, but that's more of an illuminating foundation. This is supposed to be a long wearing matte foundation, and I just love it. It comes with a pump, so that's great because you save on product, it's less mess. The coverage is great. I actually have it on right now, and it's actually mixed with another foundation that I'm going to talk about. But this comes in 14 shades. I have the color Cafe, and I think there's like a few other colors after Cafe. I might try one shade deeper than Cafe just because sometimes I feel like I'm a little darker than Cafe, but for the most part, Cafe has more of a yellow undertone for me, and I'm more of a yellow undertone. Some foundations can be really orange on me, or they can be kind of pinky, and that's not my undertone. I'm more of like a yellow neutral undertone. So this undertone actually really kind of works well for me. The coverage is great. It goes on really nicely. It's not too thick. I feel like the Rimmel Stay Matte foundation is really thick, like paste. And then this is more of, let's see, I'll just do a little pump. Let's see, maybe you can see that. It's like it's a little more liquidy, but not too much. Like it doesn't like run down my hand, but it's a nice smooth foundation. It goes on really nicely. It blends out really well. I normally use a beauty blender. I pretty much use a beauty blender with almost every foundation. I think unless I'm trying a new foundation and I'm trying to see like what works best, like a blender or a brush, then I'll use a brush. But for the most part, I usually apply my foundations with a beauty blender or a beauty sponge. So it works really well with the beauty sponge. It doesn't like seep in, like the beauty sponge doesn't like suck it up instantly. It's not that liquidy, but it's not so thick to where the beauty blender just kind of spreads it all over my face. So that works really well. It lasts really long throughout the day. I believe the longest I've worn this foundation is, I want to say like 12 hours or so, which is, a decent amount of time to wear a foundation. And I wore it that long because I was at work. So, I'm not going to take my foundation off in the middle of work. So 12 hours, I'd say, is like a really good amount of time to have a foundation on and it not like oxidize. Some of the shades of that foundation do oxidize. I have heard. I haven't tried any other shades except Cafe right now. And Cafe does not oxidize on me, which is great because I cannot stand when a foundation oxidizes. That drives me insane. But with this one, it's an HD high definition long wear matte foundation. It's a medium to full coverage smooth long wear suede finish, which it does have like a nice suede finish to it. I don't feel like there's a lot of transfer when I put it on once it's set on the face. It doesn't set extremely fast, which is great because you have time to like blend it out and, you know, get it where you want, get the coverage that you want. And I don't feel like I have to put a lot of foundation on to get that full coverage. I feel like, I think I do maybe like 4 pumps of this and it really like gets me where I need to go for the most part. Maybe add like 6 pumps in total if I'm just really trying to get that full coverage. But especially if I'm mixing this in with a foundation, a few pumps of this is like great. And that foundation retails for $8.99. You can get it at Ulta, which is where I got mine, which actually is pretty funny because my Ulta had up to Cafe. Like Cafe was the darkest shade that they had. So luckily Cafe was my shade or else I would have been SOL. But yeah, my Ulta carries up to Cafe shade, but it is 14 shades in total, so you can get it on the Ulta website. You can get it on the LA Girl website, and I believe I've heard that this will possibly be in CVS. Is that right? Let me see. Yes, LA Girl is actually sold in CVS's as well. You can go on their website and you will actually be able to type in your zip code wherever you live, and then it will show you all the CVS's where LA Girl is sold. So you can get it in CVS, you can get it at Ulta, you can get it online, you can get it on the LA Girl website. So there are multiple ways for you to get this foundation, and it does retail for $8.99. So I think that's a great price. I believe the LA Girl Pro Coverage, which I also love, that retails for about $7 as well, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got my LA Girl on sale on a website for like $4.99. They were having like a blowout sale, but I think originally it's like $6.99 if I'm not mistaken. But this one retails for $8.99. Love it. I have combination oily skin and it works really well with my skin. I don't see a lot of oiliness at the end of the day. It's not too crazy in that aspect. Like I feel like, I mean, for every foundation that I use, I always get oily in this area. Like by the end of the day, there's going to be some oil peeking through. I feel like I've had this on today for a few hours now, and I'm not having any sort of oiliness like breaking through or anything like that. So yeah, it works really, really well. I highly recommend this, especially if you have combination or oily skin. Next up, this foundation, the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. This is a foundation and concealer in one. I love this foundation. I actually mix this foundation with the LA Girl Pro Matte and I get like, I don't know, I just love the finish of it. I actually have that mixture on today on my face and it just holds up really well. The Clinique one actually comes with a doe foot applicator, so it's easy to apply on the face. I just like take it out, apply it on my face, and then blend it out with the beauty sponge, and then just put a few dots of the Pro Matte and then just go in from there. This shade is actually shade 26 Amber. This one is a little dark for me. Normally I color match myself, but I don't know, I was tired that day, so I let them color match me at Ulta, and they color matched me a little too dark. This one comes off a little too orange for me. I feel like I'm one shade lighter, but when I mix it with the LA Girl Pro Matte, it sets really nice and just looks really nice on the face, so then I don't really have that problem. But I do want to go back and get one shade lighter of this because I do love this foundation by itself as well, but it is a little orange, so as of right now, I kind of mix it with whatever foundation I'm using at the moment. This one is this foundation and concealer in one covers thoroughly with a lightweight feel, naturally flawless look, lasts all day for an all over coverage or used to spot conceal, and it is oil free. This says it's a moderate to full coverage, and I would say that's about right. It's like a medium buildable coverage. I haven't built it up too much. I don't really feel like I need to. I feel like it gives a good enough coverage for me not to have to build it crazily. And I believe this comes in about 26, 27 shades if I'm not mistaken. You can get it from Clinique, you can get it online on Ulta, you can get it at Ulta. I actually went in and got it from Ulta, and I believe this is about $28 or $29 at Ulta, so it's not very expensive compared to some other foundations that are, you know, 36, 40, whatever. This is a really good foundation. I like how it lasts. I've worn this foundation by itself, I want to say like 8 hours I've had this foundation on, and it held up really well. I did once again get oily in the same area I always get oily in. I was a little oily on my forehead, but not too crazy. It's been a little more cool here in Florida, so I haven't been able to like test it on like super hot days yet. But in the days coming, I'll be able to test it, and then I'll know if it's like really, you know, a ride or die. But as of right now, it's been really, really nice. It's been working really well. And then these two together, like, I don't know, I just love them. Like, it just gives like a really nice finish to the face. Like, it's not really like settling in anything. The only thing that settles in is like my forehead lines, but I feel like everything settles into my fine lines. I literally have not found anything, even with a primer, that has not set into my fine lines. But like, you can't, in person, you can't see it unless you're like looking for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's not terrible. Guess I'll have to give me some Botox. I don't know, but whatever. But this foundation is really great. Decently affordable if you want a more higher end foundation, but you don't want to, you know, break the bank. This is a really good one. And especially Ulta, most of the time you can use like one of your little coupons or something and get some more money off of this, but it retails for $29 on the Ulta website. Okay, so as far as concealer goes, I did try the Makeup Revolution, the new concealer that they came out with. This is the Conceal and Define. It's a full coverage conceal and contour. Now, I don't think this is full coverage. I've done a video testing on another foundation, and I use this with it. I feel like this is a medium coverage concealer. I feel like if you don't really have a lot of, you know, problem areas, you don't have problematic skin, I feel like this would be perfect, especially for younger skin or like extremely clear skin or people that don't have extremely dark under eye circles. But I do not consider this a full coverage concealer. I consider this a medium coverage concealer. It does come with a doe foot applicator, just like the Tarte Shape Tape, which people have been comparing this to the Tarte Shape Tape. I just don't see it as a full coverage concealer. Like, when I put it on and blend it out, it's not full coverage to me. It is medium coverage, which is fine. You know, you don't have to have like an extreme, you know, Instagram face every day. But if you want a more full coverage concealer, I would not consider this full coverage. That's just my personal preference. It's just the way that it works on my skin, on my face, on other people's faces. I have heard that they feel like it's full coverage. It's great. It's amazing. It's Tarte Shape Tape worthy. That's fine. For me, medium coverage. But I still like it. I have this in C10 and C12. I need to get it in C11 because I feel like C10 is a little too light and C12 is a little too orange. So I feel like if I try C11, that will work out better for me as far as color match wise. But yeah, I still like this concealer. I still use it with my more light foundations like BB creams, medium coverage foundations, stuff like that. I normally wear full coverage foundations. That's just my thing. But when I do wear a lighter coverage, or if I just want to like spot conceal or something for the day, then I definitely reach for this. This is still a really great concealer, and it actually holds up really well. I don't notice it like really creasing. It does crease a little underneath my, closer to, you know, my lash line. But for the most part, it holds up really well. And these are $7.99, I believe, at Ulta. So again, really affordable. And if you don't want to break the bank with buying the Tarte Shape Tape, which this retails for $27, $28, I believe. If you don't want to get that, definitely try this out first. You know, if you've never tried the Tarte Shape Tape and you try this, get it, try it. You might love it. I like it. It's a great concealer. It's just not full coverage. I just don't see it as a Tarte Shape Tape contestant, but you know, that's just my personal pref. Then next I have some lip colors. These are actually hard candy lip colors. They're hard candy velvet mousse. I actually also used this in a video as well. I actually used this color, which is the color Daffodil. It definitely looks like a concealer on me. The swatches that are on the little stand in the store with the lipsticks, not accurate. It's not an accurate portrayal of this color at all, because this looks like a way deeper color on the swatch on the little stand than it does on my lip. But I do love the formula of these. They're really nice. I actually have this one on right now. This is in Snapdragon. I really love this. I love the feel of it. It's not 100% matte. It's not like a full matte lipstick. It's definitely like a velvet mousse almost. Like it's really nice. It's more like a moussey kind of lip. It does have transfer. It's not transfer proof whatsoever. It's not kiss proof or anything like that, but it does last really long. These are the swatches of them, and as you can see, Snapdragon definitely, or Daffodil definitely looks like a concealer for me. Like no. But mixing them together looks really nice, but on me, but this by itself, no. But the formula is really nice. I love these. These are $6. I got these for $6 a piece in Walmart. Next up, I have two makeup palettes. The first one is the Makeup Revolution palette. This is the Reloaded Iconic Division. And this has, oh, if I can get it open. This has 15 shades. It doesn't come with like a mirror, but it's still good for travel. It's a more slim palette. It's got pretty much all the shades that you need. It's got some like neutrals. It's got a few like colors to it. Let's just swatch this more golden yellow shade. Really nice color. The pigmentation is great. I've used this palette a few times. That's the green, the deep green shade. I've used this palette a few times and I actually really like it. I've used like a few shades in this palette so far. I haven't used the entire palette, obviously. And I did use this Sparkle shade as well. And it's actually really nice. It's like a beautiful, like, highlighty sheen. It's like a bronze, and I like that a lot. And then let's just swatch the other glitter shade in here. I'm trying like not to get my nail in there. This shade is a little meh, but that could just be because I can't swatch it. Let's see, I'll swatch it. Yeah, the one green shimmer shade, not too great. It doesn't really have that great of a payoff. It definitely doesn't look like the bronze one, but as far as the rest of the shades in the palette, the pigmentation is great. So with the exception of that one, you know, you can always like speed past that one. But even the light highlight shade is a little, it's like an iridescent, I guess, kind of color. It's really pretty. It's got like some pinks, it reminds me of like mermaid-esque type deal, you know, since that whole mermaid thing is going on. But this palette is really great. I believe this palette was, I don't remember what the price of this was, but I'll look it up and I will put it in the description box below. But definitely a good palette. This part does get kind of scratched up and dirty, the plastic on it, but you can always wipe it off. But it's good for travel though, so I really like that a lot. And then the second palette is actually one of the new Wet n Wild's palettes. These are like all over the place. I believe they have said that these are, I don't know if it's this exact palette or if it's the other one, but I know that it is a dupe for the Modern Renaissance, I think it's the Soft Glam palette, if I'm not mistaken, the new one that just came out. There's a dupe in one of these palettes for that. And this one is actually Rosé in the Air is the name of this shade palette. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. What is happening? I've used this palette multiple times. Again, doesn't come with a mirror, but still very compact. So it's great for travel. You can throw it in your purse, put it in your carry-on, whatever. It has pretty much all of the shades that you will need for an eye look. It has transition shades, it has brow shades, eyelids, crease. And what I think is so cute is that it put like, you know, this is a transition shade and this is a transition shade. So it's really great for beginners as well. I think little palettes like this are awesome for beginners because, you know, it kind of helps them get a little idea of what they're gonna do for their eye look. This is one of the transition shades. Just really nice, really pigmented, and they're like really creamy. Like the eyeshadows themselves, the formula is really creamy. Like it's really nice. It's not like chalky or like terrible. They smooth out really nice. They blend out really well. Really love this palette as well. And I believe these palettes are like $4.99. So like super affordable, and the pigmentation is great on these. So you're really getting your money's worth with grabbing one of these. Wet n Wild is really stepping up their game. The drugstore is definitely trying to compete with high end right now. And this is definitely one to try. So we have the LA Girl Blush collection. This is the beauty brick. This is Spice. They have two. They have Glow and they have Spice. I got Spice because Spice is a little bit deeper toned. You get your two blushes, you get a bronzer, and then you get a highlight. I got Spice because I feel like it's more in tune with my skin tone. I'm gonna get Glow so I can try it and see, but it looked a little light, so I went with Spice first. But I actually have the blush, the bronzer, and the highlight on today, and it's like a really nice subtle highlight. It's buildable, so you can, you know, build it up if you want to. You can mix it with something else. I've mixed it with another highlight that I'm going to talk about that I'm loving right now. But it's a really great formula. These are all a powder formula, so but they're not chalky. So let me swatch. This is one of the blushes. It's kind of like a coral, and then you have the lighter pink blush. It's like a Barbie pink, but honestly, like as far as swatching goes, on my hand it shows up lighter than it does on my face because I used this blush in one of my videos that will actually be up on Tuesday for Test Out Tuesday, and this showed up way darker than I thought it was gonna show up. I went in way too hard and was like all on my face, and I was like, whoa girl. But this is the bronzer. The bronzer is like kind of subtle still. I feel like it gives like a little bit of color, but it's just not super deep. So if you're looking for a deeper bronze, this isn't it. But if you're looking for like a light subtle bronze, especially if you're very fair skinned, this will be perfect. It actually will probably be really deep if you were fair skinned. If you're more tan, this will be a nice subtle bronzer. But if you're looking for a deeper bronzer, this one's too light for that. But the highlight is actually on my face right now, and it is actually a really nice subtle highlight. I didn't put too much on today. I just did a few passes with my fan brush, but it is buildable, so it can be built up. It's buildable to a fault, I'll say that. Like, here, I'll put a little more, if you can see, put it down my nose some more. So it definitely can be built, but I feel like if you build it too much, it can get a little chalky. So you don't want to overbuild it, but you can build it up to be a little brighter. But if you're looking for like that kapow highlight, this is more of a subtle beginners, I just want something for work kind of highlight, if you feel me. But it does come with like a little mirror, so it's good for travel as well. And I believe I paid like $8 for this, if I'm not mistaken. I got this from CVS actually. So I don't know where else LA Girl aside from their website is sold, but I do know, well, you can get, you should be able to get this at Ulta as well, but I got it from CVS. I happened to be in CVS and I saw it and I was like, let me try that. So $8 to $10 in CVS. And for more high-end, I have been loving Anastasia and Amrezi. I can never know if I'm saying her name right. But I got their their highlight collab, and I am loving it. Like, look how beautiful this is. It's just so beautiful. And it has like a mirror, which I have not even taken off the little thing yet. But let me see if I can find a clean finger. It is just beautiful. Like, look at that shine. OMG. Like, I am loving this. And when you do like the first pass, it's more subtle, but it's buildable and it's beautiful when you build it. And if you wet your brush, even better. Like, I just love this so much. Love, love, love. I'm pretty sure I'll end up purchasing another one of these. This is $28. So not even as expensive as I thought it was gonna be. Obviously it's more expensive than some other highlights, but if you're looking for a more high-end highlight, I definitely would recommend this highlight. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I was so happy that I was able to get my hands on one, because normally when there is a collab coming out, I am the last person on the train to be able to get one, but mama got her hands on it and I've been loving it. And last but not least, I tried one of Gerard Cosmetics Trio highlights. It comes in like this cute little gold packaging. It's like kind of like cardboard, but it's still gold and shiny. Mine's dirty because I use it all the time. But it has like a little mirror in it, so it's good for travel. And then it has 3 highlights in it. And the highlights that I got were Lucy, Marilyn, and Grace. So let me see if I can line this up. This is Lucy, this is Marilyn's, and this is Grace. So let me try and find another clean finger. This is Lucy. So just a very pretty, it's like a champagne pink kind of shade. And then Maryland, I actually have the single of Maryland, and I dropped it and it shattered and I was devastated. But I was able to get my hands on the trio of Maryland, and this is more of like a golden champagne-y color, and these are just so like smooth to the touch. Like, they're very buttery. They're not chalky, they're not gross, they blend out well. So that's really nice. I'm just gonna have to use my thumb for Grace. But this is Grace. This is more of like a lighter tone. I would use this like in my brow bone area, just like a little bit of it, just to kind of give it that oomph. But this is a great palette. I will have to double check the price of this because I honestly don't remember. I bought it during a sale because I got a bunch of other stuff. And they were having like a 30% off sale or something. So I bought this during that time. So I'll have to double check the price of the trios, but definitely worth it. You get a good amount of products in here. I've used this, I feel like I used this palette like a week straight, and I haven't even made like barely a dent or anything in this. Yeah, like barely. Like, you can't even really tell that I've been using it. So you'll definitely get your money's worth with this. Definitely get a lot of wear out of it. You can mix all 3 of them together if you're just really trying to get that kapow, or you can, you know, pick whichever one. Marilyn and Lucy are currently my 2 favorites, so I have been using those a bunch. Oh, my voice just cracked. Woo. I've been using those a bunch, but definitely a great, I hope this isn't like blinding people in light. But this is definitely a great purchase as well. So that is it for my favorites for the month. I hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to throw in like a few higher end things, but not too expensive. And I did mostly drugstore just because more affordable. You can build your makeup collection a little faster with more affordable things. So I feel like adding a few little higher end things in there kind of gives it, you know, if you just want to treat yourself. But the drugstore items, definitely try and get your hands on those and try those out. I've been loving those. and everything you can get from Walmart, CVS, Ulta, or Walgreens even, very attainable, very well priced. I will definitely list everything in the bottom bar below. If there's anything else you want to see or anything else you'd like me to try out and do a video on, then please comment below. And I thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.